The IELTS listening test has 4 sections. Each section has 10 questions. You will hear a number of different recordings and answer the question accordingly. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your answers. All recordings will be played once only.
You will hear a man calling the Oakwood Adventure Center to confirm bookings for various people. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Oakwood Adventure Center. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to confirm some bookings made by our group for different activities across this month.
Of course. Can I have the names and dates, please?
Sure. First, Laura Jennings has booked horse riding for the 13th of July.
Got it. Laura Jennings, horse riding, 13th of July.
Next, Jason Bell is down for mountain biking on the 14th of July.
Yes, I can see that. Jason Bell, mountain biking.
Tom Rivers booked archery. That one is for the 21st.
All right. Tom Rivers, archery, 21st July.
We also have Emma Collins doing kayaking. Her booking is for the 11th.
Kayaking, that would be fantastic. I personally suggest your entire team to do that, certainly. And who do we have next?
Michael Trent is attending an archery session too, but I'm not sure that he will be attending in 16th or 17th. He has no busy scheduled, so please book him on either of the date depending upon the day that has less crowd.
Michael Trent, archery. Got it. Book him in the later date.
Up next is Sarah Bennett. Loves hiking, so she might have book for herself.
Yes, that's listed for Sarah Bennett, 9th of July.
And Karen Monroe will be sailing for the adventure. Her booking's on the 22nd.
Karen Monroe, July 22nd.
Finally, we have the member who is in love for rock climbing. She already might have made sure for the 19th. Megan is the youngest team member of ours.
Perfect, all confirmed.
You will hear a man talking to the receptionist of an activity center about several bookings. Listen carefully and complete the remaining answer. You will get some time to read the question.
Thanks for confirming the bookings. Before we finish, are there any other activities or suggestions that might help us make the most of our time?
Absolutely. Since you have a group of 8, you're eligible for a group discount. We offer it to any group of 6 or more.
Oh, that's good to know.
Also, in the evenings, we usually set up a bonfire by the lake where people can relax, roast marshmallows, and just chat. It's a great way to unwind and bond as a group.
Sounds lovely.
This weekend, we'll also be running team-building games on Saturday, so you might want to join that. They're fun and a great way to bring everyone together.
That's perfect for us.
By the way, our cafe is open from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. and we serve both breakfast and lunch.
Great. And do we need to bring any equipment?
Only if you're planning to go fishing. You'll need to bring your own rods for that. We provide gear for most other activities.
Understood. And what more service do you provide?
If you're arriving by train, there's also a free shuttle to the central station every 2 hours.
That's convenient. And is there a place where we can just relax outdoors?
Yes, there's a group picnic area near the pine grove. It's quiet and shaded.
One last thing, any footwear recommendations?
For most activities, we suggest wearing closed-toe shoes. Safety first.
Thanks a lot. That's all very helpful.
You have half a minute to check your answer.
You will hear a guide giving a talk to visitors at the beginning of a tour around Riverside Nature Reserve. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's guided tour of Riverside Nature Reserve, one of the most diverse and picturesque areas of countryside in the region. Before we begin, I'd like to give you a quick overview of what to expect. The nature reserve covers over 200 hectares of protected land and is home to a wide variety of wildlife, including several endangered bird species. The main entrance is located on the east side, next to the visitor center, which you probably passed on your way in. Inside, you'll find maps, educational displays, and a small cafe offering refreshments. From here, we'll walk along the Woodland Trail, which is the most popular route. It's about 3 kilometers long and winds through a dense forest area. Please be aware that some sections may be muddy, especially after recent rainfall, so make sure your footwear is suitable. Halfway through the trail, we'll stop at Birdwatch Point, a raised wooden platform that gives excellent views across the marshland. You may be able to spot grey herons and even a marsh harrier if you're lucky. Binoculars are available for hire at the entrance if you didn't bring your own. We'll also visit the old mill, a restored building that used to process grain over 100 years ago. It's now an interactive museum where you can see how the water wheel works and learn more about the reserve's history. Please note that the upper floor is accessible only by stairs. To help us protect the environment, we kindly ask you not to feed the animals and to stick to the marked paths. There are waste bins throughout the site, so please use them to dispose of any rubbish. Finally, for those of you interested in volunteering, the reserve runs a weekly program on Saturdays. Activities range from habitat restoration to guided wildlife surveys, and full training is provided. Now, if everyone's ready, let's begin the tour. You have half a minute to check your answer.
Now listen to a conversation between two students, Jake and Layla, and their tutor, Dr. Hammond, discussing their group project on urban transportation. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30.
Hello, Dr. Hammond. Thanks for meeting with us today. We wanted to get some feedback on our group project before the final presentation next week.
Of course, Jake. I'm happy to help. Let's start with your topic, urban transportation. Why did you choose it?
We both live in cities with high traffic congestion, and we thought it would be interesting to explore how different cities tackle this issue.
Plus, there's a lot of current research and data available, which made it easier to find credible sources.
Good choice. So, how have you divided the responsibilities within your group?
Well, I'm focusing on public transportation systems, particularly how metro and bus networks are being improved. Jake is analyzing the use of cycling infrastructure and pedestrian zones.
Yeah, and our third member, Priya, is covering ride-sharing apps and their impact on traffic flow.
That's a well-rounded approach. Did you encounter any challenges while working on this?
One issue was coordinating schedules. Priya's in a different time zone, so that made real-time collaboration tricky.
Also, we found it hard to narrow down our scope at first. There's just so much information out there.
That's a common problem. Did you manage to stay within the word limit?
Barely. We had to cut some case studies we originally wanted to include.
Good. It's important to keep your analysis concise. Have you decided how you'll present your findings?
We're doing a PowerPoint with graphs and maps. Layla will introduce the topic, Priya will handle the data, and I'll conclude with some policy suggestions.
Sounds like a solid plan. Just remember to rehearse the transitions between speakers. That can really affect the flow of your presentation.
Got it. We'll practice over the weekend.
Excellent. Let me know if you need anything else. Good luck.
You have half a minute to check your answer.
Now listen to a lecture about the history and modern role of botanical gardens. You will have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's lecture will focus on botanical gardens, their origins, evolution, and significance in the modern world. Let's begin with a bit of history. Botanical gardens can be traced back to ancient civilizations, but the first formal botanical gardens appeared in Italy during the 16th century. These were primarily used by medical students to study plant species with healing properties. Over time, these gardens expanded both in purpose and in scope. By the 18th and 19th centuries, during the height of European colonial expansion, botanical gardens played a key role in the collection and classification of plant species from around the world. They often served as living laboratories where plants were studied for both scientific and economic benefits. For instance, many crops such as tea, rubber, and cinchona, the source of quinine, were distributed through botanical gardens after being introduced from other regions. Now, The function of botanical gardens has significantly evolved. While aesthetics and recreation remain important, their primary focus is now on conservation and education. Many gardens maintain seed banks, which store seeds from endangered plant species, and conduct research on plant ecology and climate resilience. Modern botanical gardens also work to educate the public about biodiversity loss and the importance of sustainable ecosystems. They often host exhibitions, workshops, and community outreach programs, making them accessible learning spaces for people of all ages. Globally, organizations like Botanic Gardens Conservation International link hundreds of institutions together to share resources and coordinate conservation strategies. This international collaboration has become crucial as environmental challenges grow more complex. In terms of layout, most botanical gardens are organized thematically. Some areas are arranged by geographic origin, while others may focus on specific plant families or environmental conditions, such as arid or tropical zones. Interactive elements, such as QR codes or guided tours, are now common to engage visitors more deeply. To conclude, botanical gardens have transformed from medical teaching tools to vital institutions for conservation, education, and research. In a world facing rapid ecological changes, their role is more important than ever.
You have half a minute to check your answer.